Welcome to the Big Success Show. Today, 5 steps to keep your New Year's resolutions. Brought to you by FinancialFreedomTool.com. Plenty of money for life.
Big Success with the Professor and Mary-Lynn.
It's that time of year. I think my New Year's resolution should be to quit singing.
I'm all for that. No, I'm just joking.
But seriously, it is that time of year, right? The time when people start giving up. Well, it's been going on all along, but we really start giving up on our New Year's resolutions.
Oh, man. It's just a few weeks into January.
Yes.
Where is the resolve?
But the thing is, you know, they say, Mary-Lynn, from all the studies I've seen, it's somewhere between, it's mid-month, right? Where we're at right now, it's between January 12th and January 19th, it seems. There's even a whole day kind of dedicated to, in part, stopping your New Year resolutions.
Well, the Blue Monday is coming up.
Yeah.
And part of the reason that it is Blue Monday is people are bummed because they've given up on their resolutions.
Hey, I'm George Kruger, a.k.a. the Professor.
And I'm Mary-Lynn. And we want to make sure that you're not one of the people who are blue about not getting your resolutions accomplished. And we're going to share 5 steps that you can take right now so that you can keep your goals on track.
Is the first one called the Blue Man Group?
Join the Blue Man Group?
Yeah, join the Blue Man Group. There you go.
That is not a step,
All
but
right.
we should consider that next year. Step 1 to keeping your New Year's resolutions is to ask why.
Why?
Ask yourself why you made the resolution in the first place.
I mean, you had a good reason, right?
Yeah.
Presumably.
Right.
But
there was a purpose and a reason that you said, this is my goal this year.
Well, and if you examine your why, and if you look at the why behind your goal, and you realize that you don't really have a why behind your goal, then get rid of the goal. Quit fighting for it. There's no need. There's no why, right? But now here's the thing.
Why is the why so important?
Well, because if the why is so important because it's what drives you, keeps you going through these tough periods. Right. So that's why it's so critical, and it's so important that you have a strong why. So if you did have a good reason for a why, remind yourself of that reason. You know, I think sometimes one of the biggest problems from goal setting results in a problem with goal getting. And that is, we don't define our why clearly enough. We think so much about the what our goal is. We fail to really
or what the end game is.
Yes, but we fail to go back. We focus so much on that, and that's important. But the thing is, unless it's paired with the reason, the why, the underlying purpose of this whole thing, why am I trying to do this? Mm-hmm. Why is this important to me? What impact is this going to make on my life and the life of people who I love or care about? You know, if I don't have that, I got nothing.
Well, what if you do have the why, but yet it's still not helping? You know, like, for example, I want to lose weight. I know why I want to lose weight. I want to be healthy. Mm-hmm. I want to be stronger. I want to feel better. Mm-hmm. But sometimes that's a strong reason, but you know, it doesn't always help me when I'm craving a food that's not good for me. It doesn't always help me when I don't feel like exercising.
Right.
But I have a strong why. Yeah. And it doesn't always help.
But
so everybody makes this big emphasis that the why is going to get you through, but it doesn't always.
Let me ask you this. Over the last 3 months, are you eating better than you were 3 months ago?
I am. Okay. Even though, thank goodness the holidays are over.
Well, that is something you almost have to factor out, right? But are you doing more activities, more exercise type things than you were, let's say, 3 months ago?
I am. I'm regularly walking.
So the thing is, you're still driven. You're still doing something about it. You're still moving forward towards your goal, right? Right. So I think sometimes we let what hasn't happened beat us up. We beat ourselves up for what hasn't happened, when if we just stop and take a step back, this is almost another step, but if we take a step back and just look at where we're at and where we were, that's why it's so important to document right up front where you're at, so that you can recall when on those days when you're feeling kind of
when you're not seeing the results that you want.
Right.
Yes, and I know it's a long-term goal. It's a long game.
And that's the thing. Remember that cumulative gains, consistent activity leads to cumulative gains.
Moving on to step 2. To keep your New Year's resolutions, you need to live success. Now, the professor told me that I really needed to punch the live And I think I did that.
I think you did too,
What was
Mary-Lynn.
the purpose of that?
Well, the purpose of it is to just understand that this starts not in the real world, but it starts in your mental world. So now, picture yourself having already achieved the goal that you have. Picture yourself already achieving it.
Well, hold on, Professor. There, I just took a selfie. Is that good?
No, Mary-Lynn, that's not the kind of picture we're talking about. Jeez. Okay, here's the thing. We're talking about visualizing, right? So don't just see it. You need to experience it in your mind with all your emotions. How does it make you feel to achieve this goal?
A fully immersive experience.
Very much so, right? And the thing is, you're struggling to win in the real world, so live the success you hope to achieve in your mental world.
Now that reminds me of a story, George, and you tell it really well about the guy who broke the
5-minute mile
world record.
Yes, 5-minute mile. So, the 5-minute mile had been around for ages, and I don't remember the guy's name, and I apologize, but this guy was close to the mark, but never had broken it. A bunch of other people were hovering right around it, never broke it. Finally, I believe his name now is Roger Bannister. Finally, he broke the 5-minute mile. And guess what? Within a matter of weeks, dozens of people ran the mile faster than 1 minute. You know the secret? The secret is living it in your mind, seeing yourself running that 5-minute mile before you actually run the 5-minute mile. That's why we're saying live success. Live success in your mind so you can live success in the real world. Oh. That's what it comes down to.
There's when you were telling that story and the fact that other people broke it immediately after he did, or not immediately after, but soon after.
Yep.
It just goes to show that when you allow yourself to succeed, when you take yourself to a new level, look at how you can open the doors up for other people to succeed in ways that they hadn't thought of succeeding otherwise. So there's another benefit to achieving your goals and hanging in there.
And we could probably do 5 more shows about this, because it's really that can attitude as opposed to the can't attitude that we've talked about recently here on the podcast. But, all victories begin in our mind. You talk to great athletes, we're kind of on this athlete theme, but it's such a clear example of living it in your mind. You'll hear athletes talk about they could see them shooting the winning shot. They could see themselves, hitting the winning shot as the buzzer goes off. They could picture that in their mind, and then it happened. They can picture themselves catching the winning touchdown, the winning pass for the Super Bowl or whatever.
Right.
You hear it all the time. It happens to us in the business world, in the professional world as well. The key thing is, when you are able to live success, you can use this as motivation to inspire you to keep pushing whenever you need to.
Coming up, 3 more steps to keep your New Year's resolutions, including one step that will help you get over one of the biggest stumbling blocks. That's coming up right after this word from our sponsor, FinancialFreedomTool.com.
Do you feel doubt when making money decisions? Let the Financial Freedom Tool be your decision-making guide 24/7, 365 days a year, so you can make your next money moves with confidence. Learn more at FinancialFreedomTool.com.
Today we're sharing 5 steps to keep your New Year's resolutions, because this is the time of year that people give up. And we don't want you to be one of them. We don't want us to be one of them.
That's right.
So that's why we're talking about that on the podcast today. We're to step 3, which is ask why again. Now, ask why was step 1.
Yes.
So why is this another step? I mean, why do we have to keep asking why? And why do I sound like a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old?
Because you're saying why a lot, right? Why?
Right.
Why? Well, here's the deal. You're asking yourself why you're struggling. So before we were asking ourselves why, meaning what was our purpose?
Of the goal.
Now we're going to start looking at, okay, why are we struggling? What's the challenge here? And don't just ask it once. Be like a kid, Mary-Lynn. I give you permission to act like a kid. Act like a child, right?
Why?
Ask why at least 5 times, by the way. Business has this theory that I think it was started by Toyota, if I remember right, but the 5 whys, that you ask the question at least 5 times, why? You're getting close to the actual root of the problem, okay?
Okay, and I mean, as you're asking yourself why repeatedly, maybe you find that you were too ambitious.
Yeah, so back down a little, right? I mean, there's nothing, our goals shouldn't be set in stone. we may need to modify them. Now, we want to be careful.
You don't want to water it down so much that, you don't have a goal anymore.
Exactly,
right.
Mary-Lynn. But be aware that you can. It is acceptable. It may even be wise to actually just pare that goal down a little bit.
Now, maybe you're just discouraged.
Yeah, you've done so well, but yesterday you fell off the wagon, let's just say. You're only human. That was then. This is now. Focus on the now.
And as you're asking yourself why, maybe you find that you're just tempted. I love sugar. I love some kind of a sweet treat at night, and I have to give that up. And it's tempting. It's hard sometimes to not want a snack and instead just maybe reach for an orange.
Perfect example, Mary-Lynn, because sometimes we need to just remove the temptation, right? Or find a substitute, or whatever it may be. Just find something that works to help you keep pushing towards your goal.
And that way, by asking yourself why and coming up with these answers, that's going to help you find a way to be able to correct whatever the issue is instead of giving up.
Yeah, and as you focus on a solution, you're going to feel more energy to keep going.
Step 4 on how to keep that New Year's resolution going is to reach out. And a lot of people do fail because they go it alone. Mm-hmm. And that's not helpful.
No, and this is actually one of the keys to keeping your resolution. All the research really points to one of the keys being a mentor, a buddy, something like that to help you get through. So reach out to a person who cares about you, who you care about.
Hey, we care about you. You can reach out to us. Shoot us an email at biginfo, BIGGinfo at bigsuccess.com, and we'll root you on. We love that. Moving on now to our 5th and final step on how to keep your New Year's resolution. And this is a big one, and that is to win today. As another, the professor said, he's got it in all caps and in big bold letters, like win today. So what's so great about and grand about today?
Well, here's the thing. I think, big success is about believing, implementing, goal getting, giving back success. And so we're the community for big goal getters, and big goal getters often strive for so much that it can become a stumbling block.
I totally get this. Because once you disappoint yourself, sometimes it just, the goal can become negative, and then you continue to disappoint yourself, and it's this spiral of negativity, and then you don't get back on track.
Well, and I often have to watch myself because I have a tendency to think that I can do 12 hours of work in 8 hours, and and the reality is that 12 hours of work that I estimated was actually 16 hours, and so you just have
more like 24.
Right, and so you just have this constant sense of just more coming in. So here's the deal. Here's how you win at this, and this really fits so well with all the other steps. But just think about today.
Right.
Just
I like that. Yeah.
Think about today. What do you need to do today to keep your resolutions?
Now, don't think about
That's it.
The goal that you're hoping to hit 6 months from now.
Yes.
Don't think about 6 months from now.
And by the way, I'll quickly add in here, if you have 20 resolutions, you need to pare that back to like 2 or 3 at the most, right? And you may just say, if you got one big one, that's enough. Little changes over time make big differences.
But let's getting back to this concept of win today. I mean, how do you make sure to forget everything else and just say, okay, well, today's what I'm going to do, and today I'm going to get these goals done. And what if you don't get the goals done today? I mean, I guess, why is this so important?
Well, because if you think about it, it's us saying, I'm human. It's us saying, I'm going to stretch myself, but I can't stretch myself too far because then I might break. It's us saying, I'm going to accomplish what I need to accomplish to get my goals, but here's the thing, I'm just going to focus on today. And then I'm going to forget about everything else.
Forget about it.
I'm not going to worry about tomorrow.
Don't worry, be happy.
Or next week. You got one for that, Mary-Lynn? Because I can't think of one. I'm working for the weekend, maybe. So,
right.
Or next month. Think about, focus on today. Focus on doing what needs to be done today. What needs to be done to move you forward to the life that you dream of, the life that you want. That's big success.
And again, reminder, if you need someone to talk to, if you need somebody to help cheer you on as you continue to achieve your New Year's resolutions, you can just reach out to us, biginfo@bigsuccess.com. We thank you so much for listening today. Until next time,
here's to your big success.
Find Big Success at biggsuccess.com.